Pretty awesome meeting for you with the Purdue coaching staff. How excited were you to hear those words coming out of their mouth, and the decision was made pretty quickly. Just take me back to last night.
Going into it, I really didn't know what to expect. I had some positive feelings about it, and right off the bat, he said that they were going to offer me a scholarship, so that put me at ease, and I was really excited about it. And we talked for about an hour and a half, and everything he said sounded good, and it was like a dream come true.
Obviously, a decision that had to have been thought about beforehand since you verbally committed on the spot. Just talk about the conversation you had with your family, and obviously this is a place that you wanted to spend the next 4 years.
We've talked about it a lot, and then this last week it got a lot more serious, and we decided that if they were going to offer, that there's a good chance that if I felt that it was right, that I would commit, and I felt that it was right, and it's all history from there.
Talk about being from a small school like Central Catholic and getting that off your back, that monkey off your back a little bit, and getting that Big Ten offer and accepting that Big Ten offer.
It feels great because now it gives us some legitimacy, because people used to put us down for being a small school, and it's probably going to open up a lot of people's eyes. We're a really good team, and I want to thank all my teammates and all my coaches, the past and present, for everything they've done for me, because without them, none of this would be possible.
Obviously, you spent a lot of time this summer preparing and trying to make yourself better in the weight room, with your 40 time and everything. How relieved are you that your hard work paid off?
That's the biggest thing. It's just a huge relief, especially on my family and on my parents. They've been really stressed out about where I'm going to go to school. They wanted me to stay close because Buffalo and Akron, they're not too close. They're pretty far away. So this is just a great relief for them, and they were really happy last night.
Who was with you for the meeting with the Purdue coaching staff?
Both my parents came along. We went and we just talked to Coach Hope, and after that we talked to the recruiting coordinator, and then got to talk to my area recruiter, Coach Landholm.
Just when did it become more apparent that maybe they were going to offer you? After this last visit, this last weekend?
After the last visit, they said that they wanted me to come in on Thursday or maybe the weekend if I couldn't get that. And on Thursday, last night, I went in there, and right off the bat, like within the first 5 minutes, he said that I was good enough to play in the Big Ten and that they're going to offer me a scholarship. And the rest, it was just details about the scholarship. And it was really positive. He said that the hard work I put in really paid off, because he doesn't think on film that I look like the same player I was last year, and that really means a lot.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Did they sort of indicate that some of the stuff that you've done this year has really reopened their eyes to you again?
Yeah, he said that last year I didn't look like a guy during the football season that could run a 10.6 100-meter dash. And then last night he said that when he saw my senior film, that there's no doubt about it.
How much does it mean to you to become a Boiler, considering you've lived around here, your dad's history, and obviously your brother being on the basketball team?
That's something I've wanted to do ever since I was little. Just going to Purdue games ever since I can remember. I probably went to a Purdue game before I went to a CC game. Purdue is closer to my house than CC is, so there's no commute for my parents. And it's just like I have a little experience with Drew on how it's going to work, and I spent night in a carry quad with him one time, so I'm used to it, and it's not your typical college experience.
Have they talked to you about positions? Do you think you'll be a slot receiver there, or a running back?
He said they're going to bring me on as an athlete, and he asked me what I would prefer, and I said I'm more comfortable with offense because that's what I've been doing for a long time. In defense, I've only been doing it for about 2 years in high school, so I think that offense would be the best for me, but I'm willing to do whatever they want, and whatever they see fit, I'll do it for them.
In the last year, you've changed from a guy in just a sweater vest to now a Purdue recruit. How do things change from here?
Things aren't really going to change. My attitude's got to stay the same. I'm just trying to get the 36th win in a row tonight, and I'm always going to remember CC, and I'll never forget where I come from.
How exciting it has today been for you when you got to talk to your teammates and you broke the news to them?
It was awesome. They were really excited, and they had just as much a hand in this that I did. So I think it really means a lot to the team and to the community. Everybody's been supporting CC Athletics and Stay One. They're all proud of me, and I think it's a really great thing.
Did you consider waiting at all to tell Purdue?
I considered it for a little bit, but then when the time came, I thought it was right to commit right there.
Coach O'Shea spent a lot of time with you in a car, going a lot of places. What's this been like sharing this with him?
It's been a great experience. Told me lots of stories. Pretty hilarious too. He's a really good coach, and we know that we're going to go undefeated this year.
How's he made you a better player?
He is the guy who teaches you to do the little things right. So and that's like his teaching, his philosophy. Once you do little things right, you can do the big things.
Did you call Purdue back this morning, or did you tell them last night?
I told them last night.
Yeah. Immediately, or did you tell them after?
In the meeting, I committed to Coach Hope.
Did you expect going in to commit to Purdue in the first 10 minutes?
Yes, I did. Well, it wasn't the first 10 minutes. It was in the last half hour. It was in the last 20 minutes.
Okay.
It was something that I talked to John, Danny's father, about Wednesday night, and we talked for a little while, and then talked to Danny that night, and then again Thursday morning, just to make sure that he knew what he wanted to say and what he wanted to do. And after he'd slept on it Wednesday night, he came in and said, "Okay, if they offer me, I'm ready to be a Boilermaker." And I really think it's a great fit for him. It's nice to see the small school kid can have an opportunity, and to be honest with you, he deserves it. He's the most exciting player I've ever coached. He's the fourth one I've had an opportunity to put into the Big Ten, and have that little bit of help, and he is obviously the most exciting one I've ever had an opportunity to coach.
You can input the jokes here, but you've spent a lot of time with him, good and bad. How special is this for you?
It's when you're a coach, and these kids become your kids for a few months out of the year, and so you get attached, and then over the summer, we did a few drives to a few different schools. John and Jana were just great as far as, they're driving them to Buffalo, and they're driving them to Akron, and going to Bloomington and Ball State. They went all over the place, Bowling Green, just trying to get the kid noticed. And the 10.69 electronic really helped out back in the regionals and track, finishing 6th in the state in track. I think really put him on the map. And these first few games that he's had this year, I think, has just kind of finalized the deal, because he proved in those one-day camps that he could play with and against anyone. It didn't matter what level it was. It didn't matter if they're from Florida, from Texas, or wherever, that he can play with them. And now he's going to have an opportunity to do that. And I'm just tickled pink that he's going to be able to.
And this is your fourth in the big?
Yep.
What's that like? I mean, not many people know what it's like to be a coach and to see your kids continue. What's that like to see that for him?
It really is. It's awesome, because it's close by. We get an opportunity to see him on Saturdays now. We make trips down to the University of Indianapolis and see Chris and Mark play, and when we get opportunities to get to Wabash and DePaul. So Saturdays get kind of jam-packed, but it's well worth it, just because that was a kid that not only yourself, but your assistant coaches, the little gridiron coaches, the junior high coaches, they all had a hand in molding him at this school. I've just been fortunate enough to be with him for the last 4 years, and maybe just throw in my little 10%, because athletically he's very, very gifted. And if you get a chance, Danny, you've talked to him before. Danny can talk to and talk with anybody. And if you don't like Danny Anthrop, then you don't know him.
When you got that phone call last night, what was the one thing that you said to him?
About time. No. No, nothing like that. Really, I was probably, it was, I probably felt like I was 6 years old and waiting on Christmas again, because, you know, he was there at the meeting, and you know, I didn't want to be there because I felt it was a family thing, and you know, he was meeting at 5:30, and you know, 6 o'clock and 6:30 and 7:15 rolls around, and you know, I'm walking around finding stuff to do, and my wife asked me, she said, "Are you this nervous before the game?" And nah, it's not about the game right now. You know, it's about, you know, is Danny going to get that offer? She goes, well, you know, you're pretty sure he is. I said, yeah, but until it happens. And within a couple of minutes, Danny called and said that he'd been offered, and he took it. And you know, that huge weight off of my shoulders. I know it's a huge weight off of he and his family. You know, financially, it's great. You know, because you know, Drew's on scholarship there now, and now Danny is too. Danny brought up rooming with Drew, and John and Janet nixed that right away. No, it's not going to happen.
Now we can go play football. What do you expect from him for the rest of the season?
I think now that the weight is off his shoulders, now he can play a little bit more relaxed. I think early in games sometimes he's probably pressing a little bit, you know, because you know, you're always trying to do your best, and sometimes when you try to go 110%, that's not a good thing. And you know, now he can relax and do his thing, and you know, play the way that he's more than capable of playing. You know, when you're averaging 4 touchdowns a game, you're doing something right, and the kids up front are doing something right. And hopefully tonight against Tipton, hopefully we can take Danny and get a few kids around him to rally around him, and it not be all about Danny. It's about the team, and he'll be the first one to tell you that. But hopefully Danny can stick a few in, and a couple other guys can do that, because we're going to need it.